Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What up? Big Herc 916, getting down with another fresh out Prison Talk. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the channel. Go to freshoutseries.com, pick you up some merch, represent, sign up for the website so that way you can stay on top of everything we have going on. Me and Big Ant got some big things we're working on, but we will keep you in the loop. Now, this story right here is pretty sad, man. Kids nowadays, the respect for their elders, for their teachers, for people in public is few and far between. And this kid right here is going to have a lot of time to think about it in prison. Iowa teen convicted in beating death of Spanish teacher gets life in prison. Yeah, man, he beat a teacher to death. These kids, I don't know what goes through these kids' heads, why they're so just, non-conscious of their actions. And well, I do know it's the parenting, it's a lot of social distractions, social things going on that have these kids like riled up in a state of just like almost like psychosis, where they get into these trances and do things and then don't realize why they even did them. But anyways, this kid, an Iowa teen convicted in 2021 beating death of high school Spanish teacher, was sentenced Wednesday to life in prison with a possibility of parole in 25 years. Judge sentenced Jeremy Goodell for his role in killing Nohema Grabber, a 66-year-old teacher at Fairfield High School. Goodell, 18, and a friend pleaded guilty earlier this year to first-degree murder and the beating death of Grabber. This nonsensical murder, man. For what? I mean, these kids. You're a kid. What do you? I mean, a teacher. What is the problem? Why would you do that? The psychology, man. It's like you wonder, like these kids, and they're talking about like all the stuff they're putting in these schools. It's like you wonder what's going through a lot of these kids' mind. The mental right now. I've never heard of kids doing like wanting to do stuff like this, towards teachers when I was growing up. Different time though, different time. The two high school students used a bat to kill Grabber after stalking her as she took her daily walk in a large park in Fairfield, a small Iowa city about 100 miles southeast of Des Moines. Before being sentenced, Goodell apologized to the teacher's family, the community, and his own family. "I'm sorry, I'm truly sorry. What I've taken can never be replaced," Goodell said at times through sobs. "Every day I wish I could go back and stop myself, prevent this loss and the pain that I've caused everyone." After speaking and still crying, Goodell's nose started a gush of blood for several minutes before hearing he was put on pause. Prosecutors said Goodell and his friend, Willard Miller, both 16 at the time, decided to kill Grabber because of a bad grade she had given Miller. Prosecutors have said Miller first suggested the two kill Grabber after becoming worried that the poor grade would prevent him from participating in study abroad program. See, that's what I mean about these damn entitlement trophies and mentality they've been telling these kids. You're not, just because you show up, that's not good enough. Just because you participate, it doesn't mean shit. Sometimes you get an F for poor work. You don't do the work. You don't get an A just because you showed up and you sat around. You didn't perform up to standard. That's the problem, man. That's what they're raising right now in society, man. These entitled kids, man. Judge Sean Showers ticked through 25 factors he had considered before issuing his sentence of life with a 25-year minimum. He said it was clear Goodell was remorseful and didn't consider the repercussions of killing Grabber, but Showers noted that Teen is a smart person who could easily have stopped it from being carried out. The judge's decision matched the requested sentence by prosecutors. Goodell's lawyer has said he should be sentenced to life with no mandatory minimum sentence before he is eligible for parole. The two students were charged as adults, but because of their age, they were not subject to an Iowa requirement that those convicted of first-degree murder serve a mandatory life without parole. In July, Showers sentenced Miller to life in prison with a possibility of parole after 35 years in prison. Goodell and Miller pleaded guilty in April to killing Grabber. After killing Grabber, they used a wheelbarrow to move her body to a spot near railroad tracks where they covered it with a tarp and placed the wheelbarrow and railroad tie over the tarp. Grabber was born in Ixtapalapa, Mexico. Sorry about murdering that name. After graduating from high school, she worked as a flight attendant and later earned her license as a commercial airline pilot. Following her marriage, she moved to Fairfield in 1992 and later got a teaching certificate. She had worked at Fairfield High since 2012. Her husband, Paul Grabber, died of cancer after his wife's death. The couple had 3 children, man. Sad, man. Speaking before Goodell was sentenced, 10 members of Grabber's family gave victim impact statements or had statements read by court officials. During the statements, Goodell appeared to struggle to maintain his composure and hold back tears. Tom Grabber, the brother of the victim's husband, Paul, said the killing devastated their family and has hastened his brother's death. He said Goodell sounded and looked remorseful in his court statement, but he questioned the authenticity of those statements. I must say, your actions to me undercut that, Grabber said. You're now an adult, you're over the age of 18, and yet you have your counsel to represent you, arguing on your behalf to escape punishment for this horrific crime. That doesn't sound like remorse to me. KCCI TV reported that Grabber added, murdering a teacher to avoid an F. That was apparently enough for you to go along with the crime. As Judge Showers handed down his ruling, he said he thought Goodell was more likely to rehabilitate than his co-defendant Miller because of his cooperation and sincerity. KCCI TV reported, I wish you luck, Mr. Goodell, and I hope everyone in this room can heal as well, Showers said. An F, bro. He got an F in school, so he murdered his teacher. Man, I put a lot of these videos out, man, to you young people, man, who think this shit's a joke, man. Very, very emotional, very weak. Somebody says something to you, you want to fly off. You have no ability to handle challenges or adversity. No ability to deal with criticism. Life is criticism. Life is being rejected. Life is overcoming obstacles. Life is not everything handed to you. Nobody's going to hand you shit. You get an F, you go study. You want to kill the teacher over a bad grade? Weak kids, man. And that's part of the parenting. Parenting weak kids. Oh, you can quit. Oh, it's all right if you don't want to do this no more. Oh, you don't have to finish that. No, when I grew up, you finish everything. It don't matter if you don't like it, you finish it. You quit, that's not an option. You stay there until it's over with and deal with it afterwards. You know, there's certain things you got to do in life and you might not like doing them. And that's one of the reasons I made some of the mistakes I made was because I felt like, oh, I didn't have to finish or complete something, which I had to later on learn the hard way that that's a part of life, man, is going through a challenge that maybe frustrates you, makes you mad, makes you feel like, you know, you're not capable. But when you go through that, when you come through the other side, you're a stronger person. If you don't go through that, if you don't go through the pain and suffering of what it takes to, finish a project or to accomplish a goal or to make a team or to go to practice, you know, you're never going to make it in life. You can't claim mental illness every time something goes wrong. Mental illness, mental illness, mental illness. You don't want to go to football practice, mental illness. Man, grow some nuts, bro. It's a part of life, man. Sometimes we all have problems, but it doesn't mean that you just go off the wall and, dude, everybody struggles with something sometimes that you have to just work through it. That's a part of life, man. That's a part of dealing with anything at a high successful level. You can't all the time find a cop-out, man. You got to own up. I owned up to a lot of stupid shit. Man. And afterwards, it's like, man, if I would just did it the hard way and went through the fire. I think a lot of you guys, if you had a granddaddy or a great uncle or somebody in the house, some type of man that put you through some serious shit, maybe a lot of these kids would grow up and they wouldn't be as soft. They wouldn't be, so quick to be emotional, broken down. And it's real talk, man. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. Oh, man, look, this kid right here broke down over a grade and killed somebody. You can't tell me that don't have nothing to do with the parenting and teaching your kid how to have, some type of rebuilding skills, skills that teach you that's going to make you a better person down the road. You're not going to win at everything. Some things you might not be that good at, but you don't know until you try those things, and those challenges make you a better person in other areas. This lady, man, went through all that to become who she was living in a small town, doing her thing, helping people, and now she's no longer here. Why would something like that happen to a person like that, man? Why? 66 years old, he's like, you think, wow, man, she done airline pilot, teacher, doing her thing. She could have been retired, but she's still trying to help these kids, and they don't even respect the help. People, you try to help some people, man, I got people all the time, oh, man, you with that bullshit off. They don't even respect the game, because I'm not promoting the bullshit. This is, I seen a video the other day with some parents, with some little kids with fake guns and money. And they were singing, and they had hip hop in it. The kid with the gun, the kid wasn't even 2 years old. And you look at the parents, come on, man, dude sitting there with the kid. I mean, and you can find a video on YouTube. I can't even show it. It's on social media somewhere, Twitter, on X or Instagram, but because it's underage. But think about how stupid is that parent, man? How dumb are you? You got your kid with a fake gun with money, and you're sitting there singing some stupid ass shit. And your kid gets out there and he ends up getting caught up in some bullshit or shot or something, goes to prison, and you wonder where he got it from. You start him off at 2 years old with the bullshit? And then I seen another video where the kid, 2 years old, baby, and it's already doing math. It can't even talk, and it's doing subtraction, division, multiplication. But then you got this over here with the kid with the gun, and they're going to blame whatever happens to that kid on probably something racial. But you're teaching a kid to have this gun and dance around with the money. What type of bullshit foundation is that, man? Some of these people, man, I don't even know how they even... You got to wonder, man. Like, some of these people, man, parenting, wow, man. I mean, I don't even know how to even put this out, man, but it's like when I see some of these women, who would even put their thing up in this woman to have a kid, to produce something, to give it that type of future? Why would you do that? And then if you knew a dude who's on some bullshit, why would you have a baby with that dude to produce that bullshit? It's like there's certain individuals, as far as I would say, like certain women, I would see, like, I don't care how pretty, when you hear what comes out their mouth, you see a dude, you would not even want to risk the condom breaking to bring something into the world with that person because they're straight shit. Big Kirk 916, Prison Talk.
Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do, raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gang banging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey against all odds.
What up? Big Herc 916. You know I get down with that art. Holler at me if you're interested in this Kobe piece. I just finished this, and man, I'm very happy with how it came out. For all you Laker fans, for all you Kobe fans, this will look great on your wall for the holidays. So holler at me, shoot me a DM, or shoot me an email at info.bigherc916@gmail.com.
Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at freshoutseries.com.